Welcome to your weekly UAS news update. We have 4 stories for you this week. Police gets new counter-drone authority. We have SkyeBrowse releasing its biggest update of the year. A drones for good story out of Washington, and then a man that pleads guilty after flying his drone over an MLB game. Let's get to it. And first up this week, the fiscal year 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA for short, has passed the House and is now headed to the Senate. Tucked inside this 3,000-page document is the Safer Skies Act, which for the first time creates a federal framework that allows state, local, and tribal police to detect, track, and even take down drones that are not supposed to be where they are. Previously, this authority was limited to federal agencies only, like the DHS and the DOD. But now local officers who complete federal training will be able to use approved counter-UAS system to mitigate drones that pose a credible threat, as quoted, to places like stadiums or critical infrastructures. The push for this was reportedly driven by the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup, and then the fact that the NFL has documented over 2,000 drone incursions per season, that's nuts, for the last 3 years. The bill also introduces new felony penalties with up to 5 years in prison for serious violations involving national defense airspace. And please note, this is not yet law. This is only the House version of the NDAA. We actually haven't seen the Senate version just yet, so this provision may or may not remain in the final law, and we'll definitely keep you updated as we see more. Next up, SkyeBrowse just announced its biggest software update of the year. They've released 2 new processing modes, SkyeBrowse Rapid and SkyeBrowse Ultra. SkyeBrowse Rapid is designed for speed, especially for first responders that are in remote areas with bad reception. They claim that it's 5 times faster in good reception and up to 20 times faster in bad reception. In one example, they took a 7-minute, 1.5 gig video and then they processed it into a full 3D model in under 2 minutes, which is really impressive. For those that need the extra detail, there's also SkyeBrowse Ultra, which provides 4 times higher quality for photorealistic, lifelike 3D models. Now, this feature will be only available for the premium advanced customers. On top of that, they've also given their freemium users a boost. Free users now have access to tools like annotations, drawings, clippings, and then also distance measurement, which were previously paid features. It's great to see a company that's not only pushing the boundaries of what's possible with the high-end processing, but also adding some values to their entry-level free plans, which is really nice. Our third story is in King County, Washington, where heavy rains caused the Snoqualmie River to flood rapidly, trapping a man on the roof of his vehicle. With the current being too strong for first responders to enter the water, a sheriff's deputy had a great idea. Instead of using a helicopter, they launched a drone, DJI Matrice 30, and then they attached a life vest to it. The deputy then flew the drone directly to the stranded man and then delivered the life jacket. The delivery was a success, and according to Kings County Sheriff's Office, it was the first time that they actually ever used a drone to deliver a life jacket. That's just a perfect example of how drones are changing emergency responses. A drone like this one here can be deployed very quickly in minutes, cost a fraction of a helicopter flight, and then more importantly, it doesn't put any responder's life at risk to deliver the initial aid. And as you know, in a flood, minutes are going to matter. By delivering the life jacket, the deputy brought some crucial time and then stability for the victim until the helicopter was able to come in and rescue the person. For those fast, low risk, and immediate intervention, a drone is often the best possible option. So this wasn't a miracle. This was just smart practice and great use of the technology. So good job to the officer who did that. And then last up, we have a story of what not to do. This is a 47-year-old man in Georgia, Mitchell Parson Yu. His name, he's pleaded guilty for allegedly flying his drone over the 2025 MLB All-Star game. According to the prosecutors, he flew directly into the 1-mile TFR that was active at the moment of the event. To make matters worse, he was flying an unregistered drone and had no Part 107 and no trust certificate. Security officials from the FBI, the DOT, the FAA spotted the drone immediately and then tracked him down. On December 5th, he pleaded guilty to knowingly violating national defense airspace. So that's kind of interesting. Knowingly, I think the word is important here. He was sentenced to 6 months of probation and $500 fine, which honestly, I think he got off pretty easy. This is the exact kind of behavior that gives responsible pilots a bad name and obviously fuels for more restrictive regulation. Now, with the new felony penalties that are proposed in the Safer Skies Act, a stunt like this could have led to much more, and much more than just probation and that small fine, but also to the drone possibly being taken down. As always, please don't be that guy. Know the rules, check the TFRs, and of course, fly safe. And then join us later for happy hour in the community. We also have the live Q&A on Monday, and then post-flight show in the premium community also on Monday. So we'll see you there.